Radio Free Skaro.
Welcome to Video Free Skaro, a show all about Doctor Who and related sci-fi. We're here at Fan Expo Vancouver, and we've just done an interview with Jeremy Bulloch. We're also going to take a look at one of Doctor Who's most underrated villains. But first, the news. The sonic screwdriver is real. Researchers at the University of Dundee have invented what amounts to a sonic screwdriver. Unfortunately, it's not going to be used to open doors or battle aliens. It is going to be used for medical research and related projects. The Crotons and Death to the Daleks have been announced for a North American DVD release on July 10th. The Crotons features the debut of Philip Maddock and writer Robert Holmes, and contains The Second Time Around, a documentary by Ed Stradling about the Second Doctor's tour in the TARDIS. Tales from Television Centre is a new documentary from the BBC all about the legendary BBC Television Centre. It's set to air on May 17th. It'll feature reminiscences from Louise Jameson, Waris Hussein, Peter Davison, Katie Manning, and Graham Harper. The BBC is releasing 2 Doctor Who sound effects records on vinyl. The imaginatively named Doctor Who Sound Effects and Out of This World are both coming out on April 21st. Go get 'em, hipsters. And now, here's our interview with Jeremy Bulloch. So Jeremy, I'd like to talk to you today about your roles in Doctor Who.
Yes, well, you seem to be here for Star Wars, but Doctor Who, I remember the early days of the Space Museum with William Hartnell as the Doctor. And it seems strange now that the guns we used had a little old flash bulb in, and the director used to say, look, if they don't work, just make a noise. And of course, the Morlocks are on you, you probably remember them, they're marching towards us, and we went, zzz. No one ever knew. If the story's good, it doesn't matter. It's a wonderful fantasy, Doctor Who. And I was very lucky having to do that. And then, I think it was 10 years later almost, coming back to do The Time Warrior as Hal the Archer. One of the finest bowmen you'll ever see. But I had such fun because William Hartnell was coming to the end of a career. And then you had, probably, the favourite Doctor for me. We giggled and laughed in The Time Warrior. John Pertwee, just marvellous.
Well, you can tell Sir Edward that his problems are over, Hal. Arngren, his castle, his magic weapons and his sorcerer, they're all destroyed.
Will you not tell him yourself, Doctor? He will reward you well. We owe you much.
No, I'm sorry. I'm afraid we must be off. Goodbye, Hal.
Goodbye, Doctor.
BBC used to say, right, if there's mistakes, get on with it. That's what you had to do. I mean, now they'll take several takes. Come on, we've got to do this. Oh, you made a mistake, let's do it again. In those ways, you had to wait for the little button to cut your sound out and give you the line if you forget a line. But BBC, still there.
How does it feel that this character that you played, and you probably didn't think, well, this guy's going to be this iconic character 30-odd years from now?
I just think I played the part, went back into the theatre for 6 months, and it was just when I started to get letters. I mean, not 1 or 2, but 30, 50, 60. And when they re-released it again in 96, more letters came in. More. I mean, it was just, I was writing and saying, yes, sorry, I've got a card here you are. All day you were spending the time. And when I was in the theatre, I spent the day hours sending, and I thought, this is ridiculous, I'm doing this play, and it's just too busy. But it's still, after all these years, I get invited to speak at churches, weddings, and people's 30th birthdays all over the world. And you also get invited to conventions around the world. Can't do them all, but I feel very honoured.
Doctor Who has menacing baddies to spare, from the Master to the War Chief and many, many others. And then there's the Borad. The Borad only made one appearance in Doctor Who in the maligned Time Lash from 1985. There are many reasons to hate this Colin Baker snooze fest, and the Borad tops the list. Half man, half reptile, and all stupid, the Borad squared off against the Sixth Doctor, but only succeeded in defeating the audience. The thing is, for a guy who gets so much fan hate, the Borad is barely in Time Lash. There's more of this guy, and this creepy uncle than old Lizardface. So maybe it's just the pure stupidity of the story, which has something to do with time tunnels and dictators and H.G. Wells and, who cares? By the time the Borad is revealed, you're already mad. And there he is, waiting for you to hate him. So really, you owe the Borad not hate, but thanks. Now go to your room and think about what you've done.
We're done this noise.